Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Mitchell, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about how to get into nursing school since it was really hard for me to get into nursing school, and I'll tell you a little bit more about why. But before we do that, welcome to whoever's listening. Our channel is called Getting.md, where we talk a little bit everything about medical related stuff while we pursue our medical degrees of trying to get into medical school. So, we're getting a little bit of topics, everything that is related to studying and moving forward in that. But let's get into it. So, how to get into nursing school? For me, it was a little bit difficult because I came from a community college. So I went to community college and then I studied a little bit there, took some classes. Um, but you have to make sure that if you're coming from a community college or from a high school, that your grades is a 3.0 or a 3.5. It's just, some places take a 2.8, 2.9 or whatever, or even a 2.5, but it's really rare. So keep it 3.0 and above. That's perfect.
Do you want to add
Um,
that some schools require a 3.8 or higher, such as
oh
WVU?
gosh, yes,
So,
yes. If you're picking one of the top nursing schools out there, yes, a 3.5 will be like the least that you will be able to. Um, Now, to get into nursing school, you have to have classes of anatomy and physiology. So, which would be one semester anatomy, then in the next semester of the same year, so 2 semesters. So that'll be 1 year. You need a basic chem, so chem one and chem two. It'll be either 101 or 102 or 111, 112, depending on what you want to do. You have to speak with your advisor. So make sure that you speak with your advisor. Then you need some bio classes. I didn't need any bio classes. I did need microbiology, but I've heard some nursing schools do require you to have like a basic bio class. I did need math 101, 105. Again, with chem, so the first years is kind of like prerequisites. Um, and then you're gonna need some sort of statistics or problem in statistics, and then you actually, so after the first year of just basic classes, basic stuff from a community college, then I applied into the university. Now some of my like my anatomy and physiology didn't transfer for whatever reason. It was just weird. So I try to like ask them to like I so here's the problem: you have to make sure that your classes will transfer, and I didn't know that. Now we're talking about like many years ago, okay? So I was naive, very naive. So I had to retake anatomy and physiology at my university. Um, but then the rest of the classes were fine, so I had to wait, and so that's why I decided to double major because I'm like, I'm just not gonna waste a whole year. So um, you have to make sure that all these classes that you're taking, you need a C or above. And some community colleges, their anatomy and physiology, or like specific classes are a little bit lower, so you have to match it. So you literally have to go online and match and see what's the number. So for example, math 101 would not count to be in your school. So I took math 101 and they wouldn't take math 101, they needed a 105. So I had to convalidate, like take an exam, and that way to prove that I know the 105 level stuff. Or if you fail the exam or get a really low score, you have to do 105 at the school that you're going to. So you always got to make sure um, that you have that square. Um, and then you have to maintain a C on all your classes. To keep that 3.0, but also some nursing schools, they do not accept lower than C's to transfer any classes, of course, or some of them don't even take B's. So you just have to make sure. Is it too late? I have friends who did 2 years of college, even 3 years of college. They were juniors and sophomores, and they decided to apply to nursing school because they had all the prerequisites. So they were doing like so instead of doing a pre-med bachelor's degree, they were like why am I gonna do a pre-med bachelor's degree and have a hard time finding a job when I can do a nursing degree? And that way I have a 1 year of money incoming while or 1 or 2 years while I take my medical degree entrance exam, the MCAT. So that's what I did. I was like, you know what, I want to do nursing because I can work 1 year or 2 years, um, so that way I'm paying my loans and I'm getting some money back, um, while I applied to medical school. So that's why I did it. So if you're coming from high school, that's a different story. Okay, so you will, well, it's not so much different, but some of the credits that you get it from high school, sometimes you can even get accepted into the medical school right away instead of doing it how I did it. Now, the reason that I did it was my backstory is completely different. But through high school, you do need a 1 year of bio, 1 year of chem, 2 years of pre-college math, and of course you need your SATs and everything. I don't think schools really care if you have a low SAT. I think they do care if, well, I mean, if it's really low, they do. But like, um, you have to see, you have to decide if the nursing school is good for you. I'm gonna do another video based on try to figure out if the nursing school is it's your right bet, it's your right path, or um if you're passionate for it. So you have to be very careful because this is a lot of, it's a very high number of drop rate um degree.
Just to add in about the SAT, some medical schools actually use that and say your MCAT.
Oh yes, yes, right. So,
So
but here's the thing, Zach. I didn't. My plan was not going to medical school. My plan was I'm just gonna do nursing because my brother told me medical school is like a horrible place, and I kind of like believed them. So I didn't even do any research for my own. So I was like, you know what, screw medical school. So I'm just gonna go into nursing, and like, well, here we are. Now I'm starting to go into medical school. So,
yeah,
but okay, so that SAT is very important. So I really didn't care for my SATs, though, honestly.
me neither.
Um, I I should have, but I guess after you graduate, so the SAT is not. I don't know. I don't know how it is now, but anyways, so accelerated nursing. So if you graduate from high school and you're in a bad situation and you only have like 18 months or something in your family happen and you have to stay home or you have to stay in your town and you have to work and you have to take care of your family. Maybe you made a family and you have an incoming child. There are degrees out there. There are nursing degrees that are 18 months or 2 years. So what I mean is like it's nonstop. It's like there is no summer break, there is no winter break, there is no spring break, there's no fall break. So it's a continuing degree. Um, yes, it's crazy. I have a friend who actually graduated with a nutrition degree. Uh, my same like very group of close group of friends. She graduated with a nutrition degree. She applied into Pittsburgh or one of the universities in Pittsburgh accelerated program for nursing. She got it, and I was like, "So how long is it gonna take you?" And she was like, "There was a I'm not sure." She said 12, but she was like, "There is a very accelerated degree, a very accelerated program. It's a less than 18 or 18 months." I'm like, less than 18? I don't think it could do in less than 18. That's insane. But 18 months, all right, so that's it's like a year and a half um, of nonstop nursing. And so if I would have known that was a thing, like I would have totally done it. But at the same time, when I found out, I'm like, nah, I think I want the whole college experience. I want to live in the dorms. I want to, because college is not necessarily for like learning. It's more like for experience based learning. Um, I mean, you can like literally go to a library and read a ton of books on a subject, and that's how you learn. But college does gives you the benefit of giving you a degree, which you can use to uh, make money and pay your loans and work on what you wanted to do with that degree. So I would have decided to do this accelerated nursing program. I think it would have been better for me, but I wanted the whole college experience since I've always dreamed of it in movies and everything. So I decided to go the 4 year route, and it was a pain because to get into nursing school was completely nuts. Keeping the grades up, um, to get C's and to get B's in the first year uh, of community college. So when I came into community college, I transferred into community college like less than one semester of classes, because two of the classes didn't transfer. So I had to do basically like half, so a semester and like one class, semester and two classes, depending on which semester, like four classes. But it was very demanding because community college, it's not the same as a regular college. You have so community college, I was living at home, and it's completely different from a community college, from a regular college setting. So you have more freedom, you have more other stuff to take care of, and then you want to make friends and all this stuff. But yeah, so that's your journey to get into nursing school. You have to make sure your grades are up. You have to make sure that your classes transfer. You have to make sure that it is actually what you want to do, and then you apply, and then you like go into the nursing program in your school. If you're trying to transfer in from a different degree, you can do that too as well. um, or if you apply directly, because some schools you can apply directly into it, but it's very hard to the acceptance rate. It's sometimes it's very low, so you can just get into with an economy degree and then transfer into a nursing degree a year later or 2 years later, depending on what you want to do. But you have to make sure that you're on top of it, because if you do fail anatomy, it'll put you a semester behind. If you do fail physiology, it'll put you a semester behind. C's get degrees, but you have to make sure that you're on top. Microbiology, that was that was one of my hardest classes. No, I'm not kidding. That was one of my hardest classes. Um, so if you fail micro, you cannot start. And now you have to remember, you have to time it right, because so the first year is just regular classes. So the next year you're doing finally you're doing like small rotate not rotation, but like you're going into clinicals. So clinicals are only held a specific time of the year. So clinical 1 and clinical 2 are only held in January. So if you miss clinical 1, you have to redo clinical 1 in August. So what do you do with the extra time? That's why I decided to do a double major. um, just a backup, just a safety. And I didn't fall in love with. But yeah, so
That's
that's it.
it, guys. So I guess we'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions about nursing, let Mitchell know. See you
Sounds
next one.
good. Come check us out.
Peace.